in the mid-70s, Carson was looking for a way to thank golfers who won tournaments using his putter. You know, the norm back then was to write a check to somebody and say thank you, but he didn't want to do that. He wanted to create something a little bit more long-lasting. So he came up with this idea of whenever a professional won a tournament around the world, he would build 2 gold-plated replicas of the putter that they used to win the tournament. So it would be built to the exact spec. So length, lie, everything about it was duplicated. And then he engraved the name of the tournaments, their name obviously, in the year that they won. Made 2 of them, gave one to the player, and then kept one for his collection. So the first one was 1962. John Barnum won the Cajun Classic. So as I mentioned earlier, we created the concept was in the mid-70s, but once people found out that we had this program, players that won before that came to us and say, "Hey, I won the 19."
You can't blame them, can you?
No, and we were more
Especially
than
not
happy
the one to win the first one.
Right, we were more than happy to accommodate them as long as we could verify it, because it just helped grow our number, right? So it's a pretty cool tradition. You know, there's not only putters, but there's some wedges and irons in here. So I guess my favorite isn't even a putter. It's probably the wedge that Bubba used to hit that incredible shot out of the trees at Augusta in the playoff to win the Masters a couple years ago.
And do you know which one cost the most to make? Because the biggest, or?
A lot of variables. The weight of the putter and the price of gold at the time are but I think typically when we do a solid gold putter, they're usually about in the $20,000 to $25,000. Just the cost. Obviously, once you make it, then the value goes up significantly. Arguably the most valuable collection in the world of putters. And Westwood has the most overall putters, because we, in addition to wins for Ping staff players, we provide putters for certain career milestones. And the interesting about Westwood is the variety of models that he uses. As you well know, he's everything from a blade to a mallet to, you know, everything in between. But right now there's about 2,800, give or take, in here. And you can see we've got room to add a few more racks. So our goal is to add a couple every weekend. It doesn't always happen.
Get the guys keep winning.
Right.
And have the engineers done any testing on the feel of gold as a material?
No, but you know, we did hear, and I can't substantiate it officially, but back in the day we heard that Seve actually used one of his gold-plated ones in a tournament. So I don't know if that's fact or lore, but we did hear that.
Give them a polish for you.
And as I said,